Hello everyone, this is Steve Hosey with CBMC Fresno. I am the area director here, and we are back again with this month's Young Professionals Spotlight of the Month. Today we're going to have with us Kevin Lisitsin. He is one of our young professionals and comes to our meetings, and I want to give you guys an opportunity to get to know him a little bit as he talks about what he does and what makes him tick. Kevin?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to getting get to know you and the audience a little bit more. So thanks for having me.
Well, we appreciate you, man. I appreciate you coming out and being a part of the group. And like we talked about a little bit before, man, I want our community to know the amount of talent and resources we have in our Christian business community, especially with our young guys as they're going out there. I've always said it before that these guys are the tip of the spear, right? And they're the next generation of young businessmen in our valley that contribute at a high level, very skilled at what they do, but they also have a heart to serve the Lord. So I want you to get the chance to know them. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Kevin.
Yeah, born and raised in the Central Valley, married for 21 years to my wife, Sarah, and we have 3 kids. Let's see. On the business front, I've owned multiple businesses, lots of different types of startups. Most recently sold my farmer's insurance agency that I had for 10 years. And so prior to that, I sold a business in a brewery that I owned here in town as well called Summer Fox. And the year before that, I sold a business called Rocket Dog. So I just absolutely love the idea of creating something and then allowing the next generation to come in, or the next generation to come in and take it to that next level.
You sound like the ultimate entrepreneur, right? You start a business, you get it done, and you move on from it. Tell us about some of the struggles, though, for those other entrepreneurs that are out there who are looking to start a business. Tell us about that first, 30-day, 60-day, 90-day process before you realize, hey, this is something that is going to be sustainable.
Yeah, for me, the restaurant, none of us had owned a restaurant before. None of us had owned a brewery before, and I had never owned an insurance agency before. Wow. So all 3 were, we start from the ground up, bootstrapping it. No one gave us a bank. No bank gave us money. Says, hey, go spend this $100,000 on your dream or $500,000 on your dream. It was all grit. It was when I started Rocket Dog, it was because our business partners wanted to open a nonprofit and be volunteers overseas. And I was going to run my insurance agency. And then we were going to do this Rocket Dog as a project to be able to provide income for our friends overseas. So I think the most important thing I learned from that is have a reason, have a why. You have to have something greater than opening the restaurant, opening up your dream to actually make it happen. Many times over, I went to the restaurant to open it, to get it built, like I was laying tile. And then my phone would ring and I would do an insurance quote. And it was like that for, 4 months. I mean, painting, working with the contractors, going to a bank and getting credit card, and going to another bank and getting another credit card, and, talking to, professionals in the community. More than anything, in our community here in Fresno, man, it's a beautiful community. And if you reach out to anyone and you just have coffee with them, and it's not hard with social media. I use LinkedIn, and someone on LinkedIn would connect with me and say, hey, I'll connect with you. I would literally drive to their office and I would give them my business card. I'd be like, hey, thanks for connecting with me on LinkedIn. I'm interested in having coffee with you. And that would blow them away. I mean, who in the world's doing that? No one's doing that, right? Yeah. Somebody who has a passion for something greater than themselves has the desire to do something that's just outside of the box. And so I just put the Lord, I would suggest, right, put people around me that were very strong, very wise, and gave us really good advice as we were making mistakes, lots of them, how to pick up and how to grow. And so for me, I was very fortunate because I had business partners. I think that's a very important thing. I think people should always partner when they can. I called it your lane. So if you have a lane you're really good at, then stick in that lane. And then that's your strength. And have people on your team that are your weaknesses, things that I'm not really good at. I had people on our team that were really, really good at that. And lean into them.
Yeah, man, there's a lot there. That's a lot to unpack, but that's awesome. You know, if I'm putting myself in the audience and I'm looking and I'm getting to know you, what I'm hearing is, hey, you don't have to have a bunch of cash to get something going, right? You need to know why you're doing it. You have to have that passion and focus on why you're doing it. And the third thing that really stood out to me is surround yourself with good people. Build a good team, not necessarily of people that are as skilled as you, but maybe possess different skills as you to all make this happen, right?
Yeah, they need to be people that don't have your skill set. And you need to be able to be humble and tell people, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. Can you give me some guidance in this? And what I learned is people aren't going to laugh at me. People, honestly, one of the things I've learned is most people didn't, like, I don't want to use the word care, but I don't honestly think that when I left them, they cared much about me. You know, the conversation I got to have with them at coffee brought tons of value to me. I was able to take that information back to my team. And I assume it lifted them up because they were sharing some wisdom, and that's always usually a blessing to the person giving. I know it is for me when people ask me for wisdom. I'm like, yeah, that's great. And then what happens? I get on my next phone call. I'm on my calendar doing my next thing. So my limited beliefs would tell me, hey, Kevin, they're going to make fun of you. They're going to give you bad advice. They're going to keep all the good information to themselves. They're going to want a piece of the pie. And those are all the lies that I was telling myself. Wow. No, none of that was true. None of that was true. And there's with apps with like Meetup and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. Oh my Lord, there's so many resources out there of people that'll share enough information with you to be able to go that next step. And literally, that next step could be create an LLC. Great. Now, what's the first bank I need to have a relationship with? What's the credit cards I need to start refinancing debt to? What's the relationships I need to build in the industry? Who's doing it? Our contractor, one of our contractors had contacts in the industry because that's what they do for a living. So he started connecting us with people in the industry, and I would just meet with them and ask them questions, enough to be able to build it out, you know, the restaurant. And then he connected us with another restaurant in town who came over and just gave us free advice. And we moved things around in the kitchen that were a better flow. I can go on and on.
Yeah,
but yeah, the reality is you don't have to know everything. You just have to be passionate about something.
Man, that's pretty awesome, man. I mean, I hope that, I mean, that's inspiring to me to hear that. And to, again, one of the things that I was just, don't be afraid to go out there and search for the information you're looking for, right? Whether you're a business owner or entrepreneur or anything in life, don't be afraid to reach out. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Now, give us a little bit of sense of you on your personal life. You say you were married for 20 plus years. You have some kids. Tell us about Kevin the father and Kevin the husband.
Oh gosh, man. What a journey I have been on. One of the things I learned while I was going through this is how much my identity was tied to business. And when my phone stopped ringing after I sold these businesses, I was lost. And I had no idea that was going to happen to me. I was really lost because I was like, I'm already, you know, putting my kids to bed at nighttime. I mean, I thought I was, you know. If you were to ask me, do I take my wife on date nights? I would have said yes. And then if you'd have asked me when was the last time I did it, I would have been like, I don't remember. And I knew things were just shook up for me. And I needed to realign myself. So what I did was I went to a friend of mine who joined a community called Rise Up Kings, and it challenged me. It challenged me on all four pillars: faith, family, fitness, and finance. And when I left there, I realized that, you know, I had a lot of value, and I didn't need to impress other people for people to like me. And there was a ton of walls that just came down. So for me, I had to humble myself, because for the first time in my life, I wasn't producing something that I thought was bringing me value in the community I had around me. And I actually had to face like, hey, people liked me for who I was, and it wasn't a workspace, which what turned into a finance issue for me. I wanted to be giving more than other people. My relationship with my wife, I was always comparing myself to other things. That in our relationship, especially in my relationship with God, I was works-based. Even though I know I was saved by faith, 100% I'm saved by faith. There's nothing I'm going to ever do to earn my way to heaven. And yet I was always trying to prove myself to God. And for me to think that he would love me, just for being me, it just blows my mind. Still does. Still blows my mind, as you can probably tell. So yeah, I think right now God's still positioning me on where He wants me to move forward in my career path. I'm really open-handed to that. You asked me about my family, and I always go to business because that's where I'm comfortable.
No, I just
Yeah. So yeah, I've dove into that community, the Rise Up Kings community, to be around other men that are striving to be better, and that's been very helpful for me personally. And I encourage other people out there to do. Maybe not Rise Up Kings isn't for everybody. I don't know who it wouldn't be for. However, I would suggest to find something out there that can challenge you, because I think my identity was lost, and it was definitely found through that process.
Yeah. So you mentioned Rise Up Kings as an opportunity to grow in your faith. That leads me to where we are today, CBMC.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your CBMC story and what that, being a part of what we do here in our young professionals, how has that impacted you?
It's been great. I have once I joined, and I went to my first meeting with you. I think it was 6 months ago. A mutual friend of mine encouraged me to go, and I was looking forward to just being around people talking about business and not having to have any input, just being able to absorb, like hearing other people working and hearing other people being successful and what are other people doing out there to really just kind of fill that void I was missing. Went very selfishly, to be honest, to get started. And what I learned when I was there was we're all sharing our stories with each other, and we're all helping each other while we're there. And it's very, very simple. And now I actually look forward to it. It's a color coordinated Google Calendar, and it's a color that I know that it's something I really need to be at. So it's a high priority for me now.
Oh, that's awesome.
I look forward to it, because the content, the Bible studies that are led by you are fantastic. The material leads to a lot of really good conversation, and it's not about finishing the criteria or the agenda that you have. It's about getting answers in to the questions that people have in the group at that time, and it's been encouraging and inspiring for me.
Well, great. Well, we enjoy having you over there. So here we go. We're going to get to the $1 million question, right? So you've talked about the different things you've done, the entrepreneurship. You've mentioned your family. You talk about what makes you tick. So what are you doing today, and how are you serving our community today in the business world, and why would they want to use you?
Well, I appreciate the question. It's a heavy question for me, actually, because there's lots of insurance agents out there. I am starting another insurance agency.
Okay.
I'm moving to an independent broker space, and I'm getting appointed now with carriers. And so I have friends and family that still send me leads, and I have a group of brokers that I send those to for business. And I'm also a component of foster care in our community. So I started a nonprofit, it's been 4 years now. It's called Diligent Heart, and we work with kids that are graduating out of foster care. Right now, our niche is kids coming out of juvenile hall, and we work alongside Youth for Christ, and we fund them to help volunteers with curriculum. So when they get out of juvenile hall, they have this curriculum project that they get to keep. Once they're done with that curriculum project, then they have a certificate of completion, and that helps them with job interviews and getting out into the real world. I call it like your crazy uncle, your crazy aunt, someone that will be there for you now that you don't have a financial person supporting you through the government, really, which these foster kids have. We come in as a community and we support them so they're not couch surfing. That was something that came up for me because I was homeless for a while, and I just know what it's like to live on someone's couch, but when you're addicted to something, and those addictions can be vary from all over the place, and so being able to give back for me is where this is all founded at. Now, how involved I'll be with Diligent Heart versus an insurance agency. Right now, I'm open to whatever God has in store.
All right. No, that's great. So if you're listening out there and you need an insurance agent, look this guy up, right? He's got a heart and passion for our community. He helps, he serves, he gives. He's a hard worker. So Kevin, we've learned a lot about you, about your heart, your passion, and everything you do in our community. How can people find you if they want your services?
Yeah, there are a few different ways. I'm really active on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, my name, Kevin Lisitsin. Also on Instagram. There I do a lot of reels and talk a lot about business on that. And then I'm doing that same on TikTok. And so Kevin Lisitsin, which is Lisitsin for Instagram. And then for TikTok, it's Kevin's TikTok. Those are pretty solid places that I'm on pretty often. If you want to shoot me an email, it'd be kevin@pathwiseinsuranceagency.com.
All right. Well, you heard it there, everyone. This has been another edition of CBMC Young Professionals of the Month here in Fresno. We appreciate your support and thank you for taking the time to see what we have in the Valley. We have some talented guys that are willing to work for you, so look us up. Thank you all out there and God bless.